Hi everybody, back again with another video. That's 2 in less than a month. That's pretty good for me on this channel. But what I'm showing you here is Spectre Ops. This is a board game by Applied Hack Games. It's relatively new. I'm not sure if it was out on Kickstarter. I don't think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's a 2 to 5 player game. I'll show you what the contents are on the back, so you can get an idea of what you're going to see in this video. You get 8 different miniatures, 4 hunters and 4 like adventurers type thing. You get a nice coloured board, nicely detailed, a few cards and a few little tokens. So it's not a huge amount in this game, so I'll be able to show you virtually everything there is. I believe there were some special cards, promo cards, that were released for this for people who actually ordered it from Applied Hack Games web shop. But other than that, what you see here is, I think, that everything that has been released for this game so far. Whether they'll do expansions, I'm not sure. It's a game that you either like or you don't like. I've seen a few videos on YouTube. Some people who have played it in their games groups, they didn't like it, and other people did. So it's a bit of a hit and miss game, really. So hopefully, if you're interested in miniatures, there's some really nice miniatures in this game. So if you just want to buy it just for that, that's fine. So without further ado, I'll put a pause in here and we'll open up the box and see what's inside. Okay, when you open up the box, this is what you see. So we'll do it in the order of the things as they come up. This is the only counters you get in the game. They are double-sided. This is a vehicle that the hunters go into, and they can move around the board quite quickly, and they jump in and out of the vehicle whenever they feel like it. These are the small little tokens, like the last scene token. I haven't actually played the game yet. I've seen it being played. So if you want to see this game being played, check out Rodney Smith's channel, which is Watch It Played, and they have done a playthrough of this game. So that is the tokens. Quite thick cards, so they're quite durable. They'll last. This is the player sheet for the guy who's trying to avoid the hunters. Basically what happens is, you've got your board. The guy who's avoiding the hunters doesn't put his miniature on the board. He plans his moves out with this, which is an exact replica of the actual game board. So he plans where he's going to go. So he might start up here in B1 and he might move to F2. So he puts a little cross on F2 to say that's where he is. So that's what he uses, and obviously he hides it from the hunter. And you get a lot of these. I would advise, if you don't want to use these up, just photocopying a page and using that. Here we have the rulebook. It's not very long. Nicely detailed, nicely laid out. Very simple to follow. So there's a lot of strategy involved in this game, mainly on the part of the guy who's trying to avoid the hunter. The hunter actually just uses sort of guesswork most of the time to try and find out where the player is. But yeah, that's just the instruction book. Very easy to use. Now we move on to the board itself. So if I just open this up, it's all folded board. It's quite a big board, he says. There we go. Put it up the right way. Sorry for the bad camera work, but this is the board. I love the different colours on it. It just gives a little bit more atmosphere to the game. But as you can see, it's exactly the same as the page layout. So it's quite large. So you need a biggish table for it. I'll move in a bit closer so you can have a little bit more detail. It's got all the numbered squares on the board for easy track. Bits of cover. This part here, there's certain cards or certain things that some of the hunters can do. They can say to the player, where are you situated at the moment, and the player has to say I'm northwest or I'm northeast, whatever and ever. So the player who's hunting down the guy trying to escape can roughly gauge where that player is on the board. Yeah, really nice sort of artwork. Does the job. So that's the board. Let's hope I can put this back together properly without bending it. I'm always a bit wary of these boards that fold up, because I think unless they're really tough, where you bend them here, there's a good chance they could rip at some point. But it's not double-sided, the other side is just completely black. Okay, let's take a look at some of the bits inside. Just got normal standard dice, D6 dice, 2 of those. And we'll now take a little look at the cards. Let's just get them out of the box. Okay, here we have equipment cards for the hunter and for the guy trying to escape. As I said, there were some promo cards that you could get. You probably can get them on eBay or Amazon or anywhere like that, if you want to get them. I think one of them was a stun grenade, something like that. But these are the cards. Again, fairly nice artwork on them. And you don't show these cards to the other player, so they don't know when you're going to use them, what you're going to use. But you have to prove that you have used them at some point in the game. And you do that by this here. You see down the side, the person who's trying to escape has to put all his movement down on here. So if he's used something like a flashbang, he has to say what turn that he used it on, just to prove that he did use it. So there's no cheating involved. Just trying to get a bit of light on these because it's a bit dark here today. Yeah, as you can see, really nice sort of artwork on the cards. There's not too many of them. Maybe there will be some expansions later with more, obviously, miniatures and cards that come with it. These are, I think these are the agent. That's it. You've got the hunter and the agent. So it tells you here who uses it. These are all the agent cards. This is the assignment for the hunters. Not 100% sure what this does. There's actually nothing really written on it to say what it does, but I'm sure somebody will be able to tell me. I've not actually read the rules through properly. I can't really remember. There's the agent card. So that's the only cards that you get other than these, which are the character cards. So I'll put a little pause in here and I'll take them out of the bag and we'll have a quick little look. Okay, this is obviously the agent, which are the ones that are trying to achieve an objective and then escape from the hunters. So you have Blue Jay. This is like a special ability type thing. There's, on the back there is nothing. That's just hide down so that you can't see who you're playing. The hunter cannot see, doesn't know which agent is being played on the game until he can actually see him. So you've got Blue Jay, Orangutan, Cobra, and Spider. You would have thought that would have been one of the hunters, but it's not. And then we have the hunters. You have the Beast, the Puppet, These will get painted up at some stage. The gun. And finally the Prophet, which is quite a good one to have from what I've seen in gameplay. And there's the backs of their cards are different as well. So that's the character cards. And now we move on to the miniatures. So I'll put another little pause in here and we'll have a closer look at them. Okay, we'll start with the agents first. This is Blue Jay. Hopefully it'll be light enough for you to get some detail on the miniatures. They're really nicely detailed miniatures actually. And when they're painted up, I expect they'll look really spectacular. So that's Blue Jay. Next we'll take a look at Orangutan. Now we'll have Cobra. And finally, for the agents, Spider. Be careful with this one, these arms are quite thin, so a little bit delicate. I will put them all down into some light so you can have a look at them all together a little bit later in the video. So that's the agents. We'll now move on to the hunters. So first we'll take a look at the beast. Obviously a werewolfy type thing, and the biggest miniature in the game. I suppose you could use these for other games that you use if you wish. I mean, this one would be ideal for if you've backed Black Plague by the new Zombicide game, which is set in medieval times. There are wolves in that one. This would probably be a good one to use in that if you wish to do that. Then we have the puppets. So you see the detail is really nice actually. There's no issues whatsoever with the miniatures. You get a lot of miniature based games that they just sort of do it quite quickly and the miniatures aren't very detailed, they're not very well done. But this one, not a problem. Here we have the gun, and as you could probably tell from a lot of my videos on this channel, mainly the most sort of games I buy are miniature based. I do have a few card games. I've just bought the Marvel deck building game, Legendary. I'll probably do a video on that at some point. But back onto this video. So this is the gun, again really nicely detailed. And finally the Prophet, which I believe is a lot of people's favourites for using when they are the hunter, because he's got some pretty good special abilities. So yeah, I'll put another pause in here. I'll put the figures out, all standing side by side so you can have a good look at them, and then I'll finish up this video. Okay, here we have all 8 miniatures together. So zoom in a bit, hopefully it'll focus so you can get a really good look at them. So it's a good fun, fairly quick sort of game to play. It says an hour to 2 hours to play it. It depends on your skill level. I suppose when you first play it, it could end up taking maybe an hour and a half to play. But once you get used to playing this a few times, it'll probably only take you 45 minutes or so. It depends on how good the hunter is at avoiding the agent is at avoiding the hunter. If you get a very skilled player, it could take quite a while to find him. But yeah, great little game. Looks good on the table. Good fun game to play, in my opinion anyway. From what I've seen on videos, I mean, I haven't actually played it yet. Obviously the experience will be a bit different when you're playing it. But from the videos that I've seen, I like it. What's coming next? Not sure. I've got loads of games on Kickstarter to come. They're going to start sort of dropping through my letterbox, as it were, within the next 4 to 6 weeks' time. I think I've got some more Dreadball Extreme stuff to come from Kickstarter. I haven't done a video on that, and it's mainly because I sold it. I bought it all off Kickstarter. Thought I'd never really get round to playing that one. It's the rulebook is immense, and I just didn't really like the look of it when I got it. It just wasn't really the game for me, so I ended up selling that, and I've used that money to back other Kickstarter projects. Bit of a waste, yeah, but I got my money back for what I paid for it, so I'm not too bothered. But I'm going to be doing a video for my Liking of the Underworld channel next, which is my main channel, which is Hot Toys Figures, if you don't know that I do that. If I remember, I'll put a link below in the description so you can check out that channel. But for this channel, the next thing I'll be doing will probably be some more unboxings. Not 100% sure what it'll be. I've got a few games, see, that I've bought recently that I haven't done videos on, and so it depends what I feel like at the time and what's near to hand. But anyway, I hope this sort of enlightened you to what's in this game, and you know, check it out. It's worth a few games. It's quite expensive though. I think it's I can't remember what I paid for this. I think I paid about 30 quid, which I suppose you say that isn't that expensive, considering a lot of games nowadays are about 50, 60 pounds. So it's a relatively inexpensive game. So I've changed my mind on that. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.